I was driving, it's a free-for-all.
We keep getting busted at every turn, and we had to drive with our heads hanging out the window.
You really have to channel your inner New York cab driver. I was so stressed, I had PTSD from that.
Someday, if we get those bags, it's going to be really exciting.
So finally, at the 11th moment,
we have arrived in Spain.
We sure have. In just 1 week, we've gotten lost in our building. We've collaborated with some YouTubers here. We've met new friends. We found the best grocery store we've ever seen, an amazing coffee shop, and I feel like we've landed in Spain.
Yeah. Welcome back to Closer to Happy. For context, we have just moved from the US to Marbella, Spain, and have ended our first week here.
Right, and so what this video is going to be about is really what that week has been like. What are the wins? What are the fails? What are the things that we have found that we knew we loved and we were right? And what are the things that we've come here and been a little bit disappointed and thought, geez, I didn't realize that. Next time I come, I'm going to have to bring X, Y, or Z with me.
Yeah. So on day one.
Well, wait, before it, let them know
Yeah.
how much jet lag we were dealing with.
Okay.
Because otherwise we sound really stupid.
So first off, please don't underestimate how completely jet lagged and fried you are going to be, because we were wasted. And on our first day, we got lost in our apartment complex to the point we had to have someone come and rescue us. We rented an Uber that was completely full of oil smoke, and we had to drive with our heads hanging out the window.
We looked like two dogs. It was pretty awesome.
And the best one.
So I was driving, we took the Uber to go get my car, so I had to get a car, and I got a Standard, and I've driven Standards my whole life, and I took the car and we went to Corte Inglés, which is our favorite store for many reasons, and I was going up the parking garage, and all of a sudden I took a wrong turn. Now remember, I'm really jet lagged. All of a sudden I find myself going down the ramp and all these cars start coming up. And so I, of course, say, oh, I gotta put it in reverse and get out of here. So I go and I start trying to put the car in reverse. Lesson here is check how your car works before you drive away from the rental car place. I didn't know that there's this trick to reverse in this car. It said that it was left and up.
Oh my God, this is the wrong way. No, this is the wrong way. Get it in her. Oh my God, no. No.
And I've done that 100 times. So I pushed it down, left up, went forward. Pulled it up, left up, forward. I kept going forward, and people got out of their cars and they were coming up to me and being way nicer than Americans would have been.
Oh my gosh.
So finally, at the 11th moment, I figured out that there was a ring I had to pull up. I'd never seen that before. So you have to pull a ring up to get it in reverse. So anyway, I got out of that situation. I was so stressed. I had PTSD from that experience. And again, this is all within like the first hour and a half from waking up in Spain.
I think in retrospect, we would not have tried to pick up our rental car, tried to drive around Spain, which is, a little tricky, and would have just stayed home and laid low.
Yeah.
Because the night before when we arrived, we stopped on our way to our apartment and picked up food at the supermarket. We woke up, we had food, we had familiar food, and I would have, again, stayed home all day.
Yeah, and it was raining. We weren't expecting that. And so it was raining hard, actually. So it was a really great day to just sit inside and let yourself be jet lagged and a little weirded out because you've moved to a new country. And that's a strange feeling, right? You've kind of burned the boats and you're like there. And with all the planning that we've had coming here, it feels different when you actually come and burn the boats. And then you're like, wow, I guess we're here. And we are here.
We are here.
And it gets better every day.
So some of our favorite early things in Marbella so far are El Corte Inglés.
Okay, so we're off to a super dramatic start. We'll list all of the things that have happened so far. But, right, Cliff?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we're in El Corte Inglés and everything is all better.
After spending 2 hours in there today and a lot of money, I'm here to say it's my favorite supermarket I've ever been to anywhere in the world.
I really think it's the best supermarket I've ever been to in the world. It's really amazing. I'll show some B-roll of this, but it's super slick.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's just incredible.
I am not shopping anywhere else.
We found our favorite coffee spot in downtown Marbella, KoffiClub, and it's just got a nice outdoor patio area with a really killer bakery next to it and a Swedish market and really everything you could ever ask for in a cool little coffee club vibe place.
And both those things are about 15 minutes from where we're staying, so it's pretty convenient. We also already met some new friends, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
We met a guy named Ray, who we hung out with for a whole night last night or the night before. Anyway, he's a really nice guy, and out of nowhere, he's from the US, so we connected on that level. We also met some people right after my PTSD experience in the parking garage, we met some people there who saw our distress and were so sweet and said, "What's going on?" And found out we were both Americans. They're from Arizona. And we ended up connecting with them, and that was really sweet, and we're gonna get together with them in a couple weeks. So what we're finding is kind of what Cheryl predicted. It's sort of like the the first year of college when people who are here that are newly here are connecting with us, and we connect with them, and we're already meeting people, and it's been 1 week.
Yeah.
And that's pretty amazing. Like, that doesn't happen at your home. You don't meet people like that in your home. So this is kind of exciting already.
And Ray, I might point out, turned us onto Old Town Estepona. We've been to Estepona. We actually stayed in Estepona, but we stayed in sort of the touristy part of it and didn't love that. But Ray, who, as it turns out, fell madly in love with this part of Estepona, is buying something, turned us on to a great restaurant scene, just beautiful traditional Spanish village. It is really something. It's something for us to consider for sure.
Yeah, it's really sweet. And it's a suburb, if you will, of Marbella. It's about 15 minutes, 20 minutes max away. So it's all in the same area, but it's a really nice area that we hadn't really known about. So again, opening yourself up to new things, new people, and asking questions and checking things out and getting out of the house and making sure that you're actually spending your time doing what you're here to do, which is to learn and explore and open up your horizons, is worth it.
It is.
It's worth it.
So we have landed in a fantastic place. We have rented an apartment in Marbella that we love, love, love. It is absolutely beautiful. We have killer views.
And that's what we see every morning, looking down on this village that has horses and roosters and an insane dog. But it's such a wonderful way to wake up every day.
So far, it's been nothing but ideal for us. And then the other part of it that's so great is it's got a gorgeous clubhouse that's a / co-working space and a beautiful gym and a spa, like hotel level spa.
Steam room, cold plunge, sauna, like the whole deal.
Yeah, and heated indoor pool, and there's so many pools all throughout the property. So really, we feel completely lucky to have landed here.
Yeah, it's a great place to have our first 3 months. Now, again, like we mentioned earlier, we rented our house, we didn't sell our house, and we came here and purposely are renting to see how we feel. Let's talk about culture shock. Now, we thought we would have a bit more culture shock than we have. And again, we're in a place that is very expat friendly, so there's not a lot of tension and anxiety about having to communicate in fluent Spanish because they're very nice here about that. There's no vibe if you can't speak Spanish, except there's a couple things that we've noticed that we kind of, we're Americans, we like things the way we like them, and we're kind of like spoiled that way, I guess. So there's a few things that we realized we kind of wish we had brought with us. One, this is a little weird to say, but the toilet paper in Europe is just sort of like not facial quality, and it's just a little on the rough side, and that's not my favorite thing. Tin foil, and we happen to, well, it's actually aluminum foil. Sorry, not tin foil. That dates me. We did a commercial for Reynolds Wrap about 10 years ago. We have so much Reynolds Wrap left over from that shoot that we literally have our lifetime's worth of Reynolds Wrap. Did we think of bringing any? No. Why would you do that?
No. I wish we did.
Now we wish we did.
I wish we did.
What else?
Sure,
what else?
Sure. Beds tend to be much firmer than we are used to. We went to IKEA, which I loved.
I felt like I was being held hostage. Because IKEA, they make you walk the whole store. I want to go in, attack the beast I'm going for, and extract myself from the situation. This was horrific for me, but
great.
She loved it.
It was great.
Yeah, she loved it.
Anyway, so we bought a mattress topper and some more pillows. I wish we brought some pillows from home. Honestly, it's a thing I wish we brought. The other thing that we did bring, and it hasn't arrived yet because our bags haven't arrived yet, is these. We brought our own sheets. I brought a lot of my own spices. I stopped at Trader Joe's and stacked up on the everything but bagel stuff, and wish I brought more Mexican spices, but El Corte Inglés to the rescue, found a lot of what I was looking for today. One of the things, here's my big miss for Spain, is the Mexican food is not good.
Yeah, they don't, this is amazing to me, but they don't like spicy food. They don't really like what we would call Mexican food. We love Mexican food. So now we found the ingredients and we can make it ourselves. But it's interesting that you really can't find a great Mexican restaurant. We haven't anyway. The moral of the story is bring the things you really, really love that may be harder to get here, and that's what you want to find out before you come.
Yeah, also don't ship those spices because we found out that you're not allowed to, and that customs will take them.
Yeah, that's true. Customs swipes your food.
Yeah. Now, here's another tip. Shipping your luggage outside of what you're bringing on the plane is a very hot tip. It hasn't gone that well for us, probably because we didn't really follow the instructions beforehand and pack as carefully as we might have, so we keep getting busted at every turn.
So this is a company, there are companies that do this, that you can actually pack a bag and then you give it to a company and they send the bag ahead of you. You're supposed to take note of every single thing in there. You're supposed to read the do's and don'ts, which we did not do. And so a lot of what we put in there had to be taken out. So we didn't do it right, but it's a great idea when you're making a trip like this to send 4 or 5 bags ahead so you don't have to drag like 9 bags with you. If you're moving for like a long time, you're gonna probably want that much.
Someday if we get those bags, it's gonna be really exciting. It's gonna be like Christmas.
It is. We're psyched about that. I don't even remember what I put in them.
I don't either. It's only been a week. But...
Anyway, that is a really good trick. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So driving here is a challenge, I think. Now, of course, I had my shaky beginnings, but it's all roundabouts. It's a free-for-all. So you really have to channel your inner New York cab driver to be able to just first of all, get full insurance. Get full insurance. Sometimes you have to go from the left lane to the right lane, or someone else decides to go from your left lane and exit right in front of you, and it's just a complete pandemonium. That is the normal experience of driving in Spain. And by the way, this is how it is in France and Italy.
There hasn't really been any culture shock, like Cliff said, on language because everybody seems to speak English, and that's been great. And we are still trying to speak Spanish as much as we can and still immersing ourselves as much as we can by watching unlimited episodes of Money Heist.
Yeah, because Steve Martin said, you know, Spanish has like a different word for everything. so that is the deal. You really got to get your head around the grammar, so at least you hit the main word that you're trying to put across. And one of the things I love about Marbella is that it's such an international city. You know, it's like Tokyo or New York or Paris. You hear so many languages everywhere around you that it's awesome. And it just feels like you're in a hub of blended cultures. And you do not get that in the US other than New York City, in my opinion, so much.
To sum it up, after the first week, this is what we found. We are still a little foggy.
Happy to be here though.
Very happy to be here. We are surprised and thrilled at how friendly people are and how many connections we're already making in 1 week.
This really feels like it was the right thing to do, and it was the right thing that we created. I mean, we did pre-visualize this trip, and we did really put some effort into picturing how we wanted this to be. And a lot of the things on our list of what we wanted to do as we designed our new life in Spain have already happened. Like, it's happening really fast, and it's like, it just feels like we're in the zone. And I do believe that if you approach a move like this with an openness, and you do have a preconceived idea of what you want things to sort of feel like and look like, that you are allowing it to happen, and it's definitely happening for us. So that's what I wish for you too.
Yeah. So on our agenda coming up, we are going to be focused on learning more about Marbella and different areas of Marbella. We are going to, I swear, go to Malaga and really understand what Malaga is all about, because everyone loves it. And then, of course, spend a little more time in Estepona, because, wow, we were really blown away by it last night.
And we're trying to stay local right now. We're not going to go to Granada or Sevilla or even Valencia right now. We really want to like dive in here. So we are going to spend time focusing on where we are and really learn it and absorb it and get out in it as much as we can.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Where have you gone that you were really green, you had no idea what to expect, and you were a stranger in a strange land? How did you deal with that? And what happened? And what were some experiences that came out of it? Were they great, or was it just a cluster? I'd love to know those stories.
And really, any kind of cultural mishap, it would be great to hear about that. And if anybody has any ideas about where we should explore next around Marbella, totally open to that.
Yeah, we're like a video game. Tell us where to go and we'll go there. And we'll videotape us screwing up completely.
Anyway, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you soon.
Ciao.
Ciao.